What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you stopping by, spending a few minutes of your time here with me tonight. Tonight I wanted to talk to you a little bit more about this idea of a spiritual ego. I made a video previously, just a couple weeks ago, that I feel like really explained some of this pretty well. But I wanted to talk to you a little bit more about this. There are a lot of people that go through some sort of spiritual awakening, right? And then now that they're all spiritual, they're having a hard time finding friends or just finding people to talk to have conversations with. They're finding themselves very disinterested in more mundane, mainstream, day-to-day conversations, right? A lot of people like to talk about music and sports and television, the news, these kind of things, and it can be very hard to entertain these superficial conversations. You see what I'm saying? This is like an issue that a lot of us go through when we first discover ourselves, okay? The trick is that once you become spiritual, now your ego attaches to your spirituality and says, now I am spiritual. You see, you're forming an identity around this idea that you're spiritual, that you are this spiritual person in all areas of your life. But this just simply isn't the case. The human personality does not work like this. The human personality is multi-dimensional. But by saying, I'm just spiritual now, you're becoming sort of like a one-dimensional character. Sort of like there's a time and a place for everything. Okay? We want to have a well-rounded personality so that we avoid issues like this in our life, okay? It's like you're not just spiritual now. No matter how much you believe that, that will cause you suffering. That is your ego creating an identity attachment. You see what I'm saying? That says, I am spiritual now. But you're not just spiritual. You're not just a spiritual individual, okay? You're also a son or a daughter, a father or a mother, a husband or a wife, a boyfriend or a girlfriend. You're also an employee, an employer, you're an uncle, an aunt. You're all of these different things. You see what I'm saying? Your personality is all of these different things. You know what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying? The human being is a multi-dimensional being. You're not just spiritual. But we can lock ourselves into a box like this and say, I must be like this. Nothing interests me if it is not deep and introspective. You see what I'm saying? And that will cause you suffering because now you're in this box and nobody else can get in. Do you see what I'm saying? So anyway, it's a real quick video. I just wanted to sort of bring that to your attention. Just think about that. Contemplate that for a little while, that your ego is forming an identity attachment to your spirituality, to your sense of spirituality. And I'm not saying that you're not spiritual. Of course you are spiritual. You see what I'm saying? Of course you've developed a practice, right? A way of living your life that is different than the average, okay? But this is only one part of who you are. Your spirituality shouldn't get in the way like this. It should make these sorts of interactions even easier to deal with, right? Before it was like it was really easy, you could take part, right? And now you're experiencing more suffering because of it. That's not exactly the goal here. That suffering of loneliness, that feeling of loneliness, that's because the ego is attaching this very strong identity to your newfound sense of spirituality. You see what I'm saying? Anyway, man, until next time, I hope you continue to free your mind.